Bishop Zinkula, members of the Board of Trustees, President Novak, and the St. Ambrose administration, faculty, staff, students, and degree candidates. I'm honored to be here with you all today. I am a proud graduate of St. Ambrose University. I left here for the first time 20 years ago with a bachelor's degree in hand, then came back 16 years later to serve on the College of Health and Human Services Alumni Advisory Board and to take on my role as an adjunct professor in the Master of Public Health program. Now, I may have physically moved away, but St. Ambrose never really left me. This is because from the moment I arrived, I was part of a community, one built on faith, service, academics, and the development of relationships that remain with me today. During my time on campus, I not only received a great education, but I acted, sang, and flipped as a part of our theater program, rocked the airwaves on KALA radio, and was crowned Mr. SAU 2002. Now, before you wonder how you missed the bronze statue on campus to mark the event, it should be noted that I won that by beating out 3 of my friends in front of 10 or so people with nothing better to do on a Friday night. Truly a title for the ages. Now, while some of you shared my experiences as an undergraduate student at St. Ambrose University, we are here to celebrate your graduate degrees. While your time as an undergraduate student laid the foundation for who you are, it is the degree you are receiving today that will help you push you along personally and professionally to another level. Professionally speaking, you'll be leaving here this morning with another tool in your toolbox, a credential that will help you move forward in your pursuit of a professional life that meets and exceeds all of your expectations and dreams. Your graduate degrees and the steps you took to achieve them will help you down this path and certainly pay dividends. But given that this is a commencement speech and not a seminar to be posted on LinkedIn, I want to talk about what a graduate degree can mean for you personally. In my teaching, I often rely on quotes, and this one comes from President Teddy Roosevelt. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. I relate to this because it provides context in contrasting points in my life where I was or wasn't using the gifts that I had been granted and earned. On the side of not using my gifts, what comes to mind is my first job out of college. I sold radio advertising. Now, this is before Ambrose began a sales program for students, from which I certainly would have benefited. Do you know what you get when you are a painfully introverted 22-year-old selling advertising? You don't get much. You don't get many sales, much success, certainly not a livable commission-based salary. Now, while in my 40s, I've certainly come out of my shell, I'm fortunate and blessed to be married to my wife of 13 years. We have our 2 wonderful children. And I also have my family and friends from SAU who, for some reason, have stuck by me all this time. Things have come along, and this was in large part due to progressing academically and putting myself in the position where you are all at right now. It was pushing myself to develop the person I am, not just as a professional, but as an individual who wants to not flounder and to not stay still, but instead someone who wants to make a difference. There's no way around it. To make that difference, you have to make decisions. You have to be bold. You have to sometimes be wrong, very wrong. But with this degree, you have helped yourselves to be in that position to make those decisions, turn them into action, and make an impact. By having earned your degree, you have one more gift. And this gift is not just a degree, but the building blocks of it. The lessons you have learned, the skills you have developed, all of which are meant to be put into action. Your degree and your experiences do not represent some static piece of paper. It represents a commitment that you made to yourself and that you continue to make to those around you, your family, your friends, your communities, and all those that you want to benefit from the work that you set out to do. With all apologies to my friends and colleagues in our English department, being an Ambrosian is not a noun. It's a verb. It brings with it a duty to get your hands dirty, to take some risks, and to always be pushing yourself for the greater good. Now, another quote that I believe to be appropriate today is something to the effect of, Adapting a new path forward is not disrespecting our past traditions. Now, truth be told, this was originally in reference to football strategy. However, this can certainly apply to life, in particular the place where you are all at right now. This quote speaks to the freedom of allowing ourselves to evolve and change, not for the sake of change itself, but rather to fully utilize and take advantage of the opportunities you now have. It speaks to giving ourselves permission to make those decisions that may lead us down a different and hopefully better path, committing ourselves to try new things and to rethink the way we've always done things. Now, this can be unsettling. What if we are wrong? Are we throwing away all that we've done to get here? I would argue that doing so is not disregarding or disrespecting our past. Rather, it is honoring our future. It is acknowledging all of the experiences and paths we have taken in our life and putting them to use as only we can. It is honoring the person we want to become. It is honoring those who have entered and remain in our lives and those we've had to say goodbye to along the way, including recently members of our own Ambrose community. With your degrees and the education that got you to this point, you are better equipped than ever to take advantage of this opportunity. So as you go forward, the one thing I ask of you is to not stand still. Rules of time travel notwithstanding, you may never be Mr. SAU 2002, but you have achieved something that many can only dream of. With that comes an obligation to yourself to make the very most of it. Make decisions, follow through on them. In doing so, you will have your successes, and you will make mistakes. And about those mistakes, and look, this is just you and me talking here, you're going to make some big ones. Really. And it's okay. In all honesty, it's a mark of a life well lived. Whether you're in your 20s, 50s, 80s, as long as you learn from those mistakes and see it as an opportunity to make the next decision, it's all for the better. And when you make those mistakes, and you need that reinforcement and that support system, know that forevermore, you as a member of the St. Ambrose University community have a home, or perhaps a beehive, that you can rely on. So congratulations. What you have accomplished is something that you should be proud of and take with you. Don't forget the academic and the life lessons you learned along the way. So take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and be well. Thank you.